Something I have some control over.
I'm sorry. Yes, something you can control, something you have a serious impact on, right? It's good. Very good. So I'll go ahead and hit record right now. I actually already did, and I'll spotlight my screen for you both. And please go ahead after I mute you, go ahead and unmute anytime you have a question, a comment, just need clarification, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I'd like to start with a specific neck focus, which means that when we lie down, instead of lying with minimal support under your head and neck, I'd like to suggest, and you always modify anything I say as a matter of course, but to take one of your blankets, like as you find it on the stack, and roll the rounded edge of that blanket to create this cylinder that has a sort of a flat part adjacent to it. And this cylinder is meant to be slightly more rounded under your neck than you would normally choose. So it's just a little bit more, the diameter of this cylinder should be just enough so that you feel really quite clearly the curl of your neck over the cylinder. So I'll show you what I mean. And of course, you adjust the diameter of this cylinder so that when you do lay your curve of your neck right over it, that the back of your head feels like it can truly rest on the flat part of this rolled up blanket. And you don't feel like it's kind of constricting to your throat or stressful because of its excess height or girth. So give yourself a moment to see how you land with this situation. And feet flat, knees bent, arms at a comfortable angle for your shoulders. You might even gently lift your hips and lay your back a little flatter onto the mat by curving your lumbar spine downward, which means you're a little bit engaging your abdominal muscles. And then gently lean onto your left shoulder and lift and tuck your right shoulder blade down away from your right ear and further underneath your ribs towards your spine. Then gently lean right, lift and shift your left shoulder blade down towards the middle of your low back. It's a sort of a diagonal pinching of your your shoulder blades in a V down your back. Once you've tucked your shoulder blades, you might need to re-lift your hips and further flatten out your low back. Very commonly, shoulder blade tucking means a little more arch in your low back. Then slowly turn your chin any amount from side to side. Because of the blanket, the change in the blanket will change the mobility of your head and neck. So don't worry if you can't turn your head very far. The goal here is as you breathe in, you go to the side. As you breathe out, you come back to the center, slightly bringing your chin towards your chest. It's a subtle chin to chest through the center. Then you inhale over to the other side. Option to reach through your opposite hand away from the direction you're turning your chin. Inhaling back to the center, slight lengthening of the back of your neck, and then chin goes the other way, opposite arm reaches out, maybe palm faces up as you go from side to side. It's not the most gross, giant sensation situation, but it can create a bit of a stretch, particularly when your chin is tilting way over or way-ish over to one side. Going from side to side two more times. Remember to keep flattening your low back. It's quite tempting to lose track of the lumbar muscles. Breathing as you turn your chin, reach your hand away, opposite direction to your chin movement. And when you feel like, yeah, enough already, slowly come on back to the center and just let go. Let everything go, especially unfurl your brow. You often get a little wrinkly in the brow. Take a deep breath, fill up your lungs, expand, open, breathe. Exhale, let it go. Two more like that. Inhale, big breath in. Option for a HA ha or just an exhale. Ha. One more time. Inhale, big breath in, expand. And slowly curl one knee at a time in towards your armpits. So knees are a little wider than maybe natural. And then bring your knees around in a circle. So your knees are a bit wider. Flex your feet and really massage out the back of your pelvis, your side waist, your low ribs, rolling around that center point in the middle, curviest part of your low back. Big breath in as you circle. HA, ha, let it go. Ha. And then circle the other way. Nice big breathing, big expansion. I always think of like a big fluffy teddy bear, expand out, big, long, big, reachy, puffy. And exhale, HA. Ha. All right. Now, slowly take your feet wide to the edges of your sticky mat, toe heel them wider so your toes are on the wood and your heels are on the mat. Let your arms open up wide to a comfortable version of a T or upside down V. And once more, walk your shoulder blades in a V shape down your back. Relift your hips to pull your lumbar spine flat and rock up onto your heels. Dig into the mat with your heels, even push the sticky mat to the foot of your mat. So you're pushing the mat away from you to further flatten out your back as you go into slow windshield wipers. As you do your knees rocking side to side, if external rotation doesn't feel right, isn't appropriate for you, only drop say when you go left, your right knee drops down to your left ankle, but your left knee might stay quite vertical. Doesn't need to drop out to the side. Same thing when you go to the right, it just might be your left knee dropping down towards the midline without the external rotation. If external rotation works for you, perhaps both knees drop over to one side, but everybody flatten out your low back as you go through the middle and remember to pull your sticky mat towards the clock wall or towards the base of your mat as you dig in with your heels. This is a lot of work in your legs, a little more than normal here. Two more windshield wipers or two-ish, so you feel even. And we'll slowly and gently come on back to the center. Now, either keep a little height under your head, but minimize it, or remove all this height from underneath your head so that as you set up for bridge pose with your interlaced hands behind your skull, you're either sandwiching your interlaced palms between the blanket and your skull or between the mat and your skull. And I understand it's a little bit of nailsy to have your heavy head resting on your poor squished fingers. So a little blanketing can also help defray that. Now, turn your toes to face the foot of your mat and check to see if your feet and legs are about hips distance apart. Then lift up all five toes of both feet, spread them apart, and lay them back down as widely as you can. And then squeeze your glutes, your buttock muscles, press your tailbone up to the ceiling as you press your low back flat. And as you lift your hips up slowly, peel your tailbone, then your sacrum, then your low back, then maybe low ribs. Maybe that's it for you, or maybe you lift higher. But if you do, lift and pull your skull backwards a little further, create a little more space in your neck as you press your tailbone high for bridge. Then lift and pull your head back even a little bit more as you lower down vertebra by vertebra. Pull your hips towards your heels, tractioning your spine. Imagine you're putting tape on the floor. Tape your back to the floor, no bubbles. Then, any amount, lift your shoulder blades. Use your hands to hold your heavy skull. Lift your shoulder blades up. Then, pull your skull long to the back of your mat. And now, lift your hips up. Slow bridge pose. The height of your bridge might not be very huge. Yeah, it might be more subtle. Once your hips have almost alighted, is that the right thing? Alit? Once your hips have almost landed on the mat, lift your shoulders and your head. And then again, pull your skull backwards for traction as you lift your hips any amount. One more time, vertebra by vertebra, we lower down. Stick your body to the floor like duct tape and up you go with your shoulders. Notice the temptation to really pull on your head. Try to let your head be heavy and dropping back. Last time hips lift, breathe and lengthen. Press through your heels. And then again, last time, lower down, iron your back into the floor. Now, pull that blanket back under your head if you miss it, and rest your head, neck, shoulders in your favorite, most comfortable position before you bring both knees into your chest. Flex your feet and squeeze your knees together. And then either make one circle with your knees stuck together or two separate symmetrical circles like butterfly wings. Yeah, so if external rotation doesn't feel that great, you might make a single circle, knees stay together. And if the knees widening apart, then back together feels okay. Butterfly your knees, rock and roll over your pelvis. Notice that catting and cowing of your back. And switch it up. Go the other way. If you want to add a little bit of resistance, you can lightly push your knees downward and outward as your knees go wide, but don't force it. Push up into your hands in roughly equal measure. So you're pushing your inner knees with your palms, but you're pushing your palms with your inner knees. Then switch the direction of your butterflies. You can take your palms to the outside of your thighs now. As your knees widen, push your knees down into your palms, but also push your palms up into your outer knees. Does that make any sense? So creating a little resistance. That's it. Yeah. Flex your feet to activate your lower legs. Take one more deep breath in the circling you've chosen and slowly come on back to center. All right. Very good. One more thing here. Now, gently roll to the side, come on up, and have a comfortable seat so you can make a loop in your strap. If you prefer to lie down and make a loop, that's all good. You can do anything you want vis-a-vis strap making or loop making. What we're looking for with the loop is that when you put that loop around your outer thighs above your knees and push your knees sideways away from your midline, that when you push the strap, really kind of stretching it, your knees end up at about hips distance. Okay. And once you've arranged that, we'll be lying back down again. Sorry for bad news. Then we want to take your block and slide it inside your strap loop. Really? Yeah. So the block can be any width. If you choose a wider loop, your block can turn onto its middle width. Probably the widest width is not going to work. But the idea is this, we'll be in bridge pose position. We'll have your block with its strap around the roughly middle of your block and about 2 inches above your knees. If anyone has one of those straps that's really a pain to deal with because it's not holding, it keeps slipping, just raise your hand and I'll trade you with mine because we don't need to be dealing with that kind of stuff. That's just irritating. All right. And then when you're ready, we'll come on back. Good question. The block is held in place in part because the width of the loop is not so great and it's kind of just suspended there. What we want to be able to do is squeeze your block and have your strap stay put. And we also want to be able to push into your strap, which will hold your block in place because it squeezes the block from the other dimension. Yeah. So squeeze and push. From here, we come down for bridge pose. And once again, option to elevate your head a little bit or not. If you find your head is comfortable right on the mat, when you lift your hips up, you may find that you prefer that. But for some, it's really helpful to have a bit of height. So take a moment to settle. And then once more, before we get started, lean to your right and tuck your left shoulder blade down away from your left ear towards the middle of your low back. And lean left, tuck your right shoulder blade down and in. Now you may have a little space under your low back, mid back. Can you lift your hips and unfurl your tailbone forward and down to flatten out your low back entirely? Push your palms down into the mat next to you, but rotate your palms to face up now. So as you tuck your shoulder blades in and under and curl your tailbone up a little bit to flatten your back, we're also trying to push down with your forearms and your elbows and your shoulders. As you squeeze your block, Bring your feet about hips distance. Your block might be a little narrower. It's okay if your knees move in towards the midline a little bit as you squeeze your block. Then lift your hips up for bridge pose. Any height. Squeeze, 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 squeeze your block. Feel your glutes, your buttock muscles squeezing. Push down with your forearms. You can even make fists and push your fists down into the floor for a little leverage. Notice any tension accruing in your jaw. Release your teeth one from the other or top from bottom. Now push out into your strap to lower down again, vertebra by vertebra, just like we did before with thinking of your back as a roll of duct tape. Inhale when you're down, squeeze your block, squeeze your glutes, lead with your tailbone, lift up, push the floor away. Inhale, push out into your block and lower down vertebra by vertebra. Exhale, squeeze your block and lift. Press your tailbone up. If the breath goes the other way, that's fine. We're looking for inhale and an exhale. Breathing as you roll down. Once you're down, keep the lateral pressure of your legs pushing out into your strap. Scoop your belly in and down and lead with your tailbone. Lift up into bridge, pushing outward. Now squeeze your block to lower down. Same motion in your spine, flat, flat, flat. Push out as you go up. Inhaling or exhaling, whichever one you're on. And then do the other. Exhaling or inhaling. Come down, squeeze your block. Last time, push out, out, out. Up you go. Then squeeze in, and down. Reach for your blanket if you want one underneath the back of your head, option for that little roll at the back of your neck, and bring your knees into your chest. Now, arms wide and comfortably wide, but push down into the mat. Tuck your shoulder blades in and under. Flex your feet. Bend your knees to about 90. Now, push out with your legs as you rotate your lower body left to right or right to left. Doesn't matter which way you go. You might need to coordinate with your neighbors, a la Ziegfeld Follies. Anybody used to watch that? Okay. Rockettes. Ah, the Rockettes. Yes. Side to side. Think Rockettes. Breathing, push out, out, out. You can feel it in your outer hips. Press your low back flat. Turn your chin to the opposite direction your knees are rotating toward. Knees left, chin right. Notice your shoulder. Try not to shrug it. Knees right, chin left. Meet me back in the center. Take a big breath in. Now squeeze your block and twist. Same thing, but block squeeze this time. You might limit the movement of your legs so that both shoulders can stay very firmly grounded. For some, that's really helpful. For shoulder discomfort or to maintain comfort in your shoulders, twisting, turn your chin the other way, squeeze your block. Last time. One more time or two for evenness if you're uneven. And come on back to the center. Now take away your block and bring your strap around your feet. Kick your feet to the sky and hold on to the backs of your legs. Feet are flexed, toes are spreading. Microbend your knees or straighten. Here, you can even hyperextend your knees. You can have a hyperextension party. Woohoo! Because we're not weight bearing. Now, in this position, in principle, we want your feet right above your hips and your knees straight. But for many of us, that's not so much in the cards. So you might find that if you bend your knees, now your feet can be right above your hips vertically. And that's great. Okay. If your knees are straight, also great. Both will work. Now, slowly tilt to the left, chin right, only to the degree that you really have total control. You're not flopping or straining to maintain balance. Slowly come on back to the center. You might need to bend your knees to gain a little more leverage. And then over to the right with your legs, chin goes left. Notice how tempting it is for one of your shoulder blades to peel off the floor. Only tilt your legs to the degree that you can keep both shoulders completely grounded. Breathe. You might focus on your leg, the lowering leg. If you're going to the right, focus on pulling down with your right leg, but resisting with your left. When you come to the left, pull down with your left leg, but resist with your right. breathing. Remember that thing called breathing, both in and out. One more time if it's workable, but no more times when you need a break. Take a break whenever you need to. Ignore what I'm doing and do what you need anytime during this class. Over to the left last time if you're with me, or maybe you're going the other way, that's fine. And then, oh, come on back to the center, bend your knees and bring your legs into your chest. Make a circle on the ceiling to massage out your back, and even wrap your hands around your outer hips and buttocks and give your outer hips a little massage, a little heat, a little warmth with your own hands on your outer hips and gluteals can be helpful after all that intensity. Even raking your glutes a little bit with your fingers, outer hips a little bit with your fingers. All right. And then slowly lower your feet down. All right. Very good. Okay, so where I'd like to go is to slowly roll over onto your side body and come on up here for a cat cow. A little bit of stuff for your neck and shoulders here. So this cat cow is really focusing in on your shoulder blades, not so much on your low back. We've done a lot with your low back and lumbar spine and pelvis, etc. So I'll show it with one blanket fold under my knees. I take this blanket, fold it in half, create my favorite strudel pad. I'm going to put another one under your knees if you want a second one. And if you have color coordinating blankets, woohoo, how fun. You can roll up one of your color coordinated blankets and put it under the tops of the shoelace part of your foot. Yeah, so if you need a little support for your ankles or feet, it can be super helpful to do this. If your wrists are not so happy with weight on your palms, you might put your forearms down. If you're perfectly fine on your palms, you might spread your fingers, spread your palms, and bend your elbows backwards towards your knees to widen the angle at your wrist joint. So your hands will be quite a bit farther forward than your shoulders and armpits. Then the focus here is not on dropping your chin to your chest and bubbling your spine up in cat pose, but instead it's squeezing your shoulder blades together, which forces your rib cage downward, then sliding your shoulder blades apart, which moves your rib cage back up towards the ceiling. And that does create a bit of a doming action in your upper thoracic spine. But your head and neck are quite neutral. Your elbows might bend and straighten a little bit, but let the primary motion be that of your shoulder blades squeezing together, like closing the curtains, then sliding them apart, pulling the curtains wide. Notice the musculature between your shoulder blades, your rhomboids there, you've got a lot of spinous muscles there, but your rhomboids are the primary movers here, which pull your shoulder blades together. And then as you stretch your rhomboids, they slide apart. All right. Couple more of these, pinching your shoulder blades together as if you had a little key line between your shoulder blades, you'd squeeze out all the juice. All right, and then slowly come on up and we'll take a seat. If you sit on your buttock bones comfortably, easily, great. For some, sitting in cross legs is fantastic. I actually, if I sit in cross legs, I typically like to stretch out one leg. Makes me have much more space in my hips and knees, and I can sit comfortably upright. But any upright position will do just fine. So maybe you sit on your heels, maybe you stretch both legs long. This is the stuffed animal position. I'm a big fan of this one. So we just did this shoulder blade squeezing, but it can be a little hard to find, particularly here. It can be a little hard to do notice the difference between this kind of cat cow and the one that I'm interested in, which is the squeeze of your shoulder blades. The head doesn't change. So as you do that same thing seated, we can take another pass at it by bringing your elbows wide, puffing your chest forward, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Try to touch your elbows behind your back. And then wrap your left arm over your right. Option to drop your chin. You don't need to. If it doesn't feel right, curl into a little bear hug. Then pull your elbows back behind you. Try to touch your elbows together. For some, it feels good to lift your chin. For others, not so much. Chin down, back of your neck long. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your shoulder blades. Then other arm on top. Maybe wrap your hands onto your shoulders, but that's okay if they don't touch. Two more times. Squeeze, open your chest and wrap. And last time, squeeze and open and wrap. At your own pace. Come on back to the center and roll your shoulders forward, up, and back, and down. Forward, up, and back, and down. Forward, up, and back, and down. Very good. Now, where I'd like to go is back onto hands and knees for a side body bend. Kind of rebalance and equilibrate your spine in a slightly different way. And so, bless you. Once again, option if you wish to put your forearms on blocks. Maybe that feels better. You can totally do that as a way to find your tabletop position. Just make sure that your blocks are far enough away that your elbows and knees can be the comfortable distance for a neutral spine, that you're neither catting or cowing. And if you don't need to be on your blocks, of course, you can be on your palms. I'll put that blanket under my feet. It's just kind of fun. All right, now here we go. Bring your knees together. If you're on your palms, micro bend your elbows and grip with your 10 fingerprints like you're trying to pluck the sticky mat up off of the floor. Lengthen through the crown of your head, draw your shoulder blades away from your ears, and now slightly puff your low back up to the sky. Pull your belly button in and up. So you can even put one hand on your lumbar spine and feel as you curl your tailbone down that your lumbar spine curve decreases, your low back flattens upward slightly. Then reach your right leg way back behind you. Option to tuck your toes, but if it doesn't feel good, just lightly have the tips of your toes down. And then lift your right leg high, heel to the ceiling, toes to the floor. Now, bring your right foot all the way over to the left side of your mat. Cross your thighs and put either the tippy toes of your right foot or tuck your right toes under. Then bend your upper body to the left. Pull your sticky mat to the left with elbows or hands. Look around your left shoulder. Bend so much that you might even see your outer left hip. Don't worry if you don't get that far. That's fine. Can you straighten your right knee without strain, pain, or irritation? Then slowly take a big breath in. Exhale, bring your right knee all the way around through fire hydrant. Sorry for crass imagery. Bring your right knee to your shoulder. Maybe tap your tricep. That's it. Then all the way back and around. Telescope your right leg all the way back. Squeeze your inner thighs. Bend left, look left. Yeah, nice. Try to straighten your knee. Maybe kick through your right heel a little bit. And then lift, float your right leg all the way around, bend your knee, try to tap your tricep. Don't worry if you don't tap. And around and back. One more time. Big side body bend. You're like a horse, turning its head, looking around, see who is on my back. And then up and around. I obviously know nothing about horses. And then back to the center. This is backwards cat. You lift up, scoop up, pull your hips back any amount. Doesn't need to be way back. Maybe your buttocks come to your heels, maybe just barely backwards. Then forward into cow, ripple through cow, lift your chest, lift your buttock bones, but drop your mid spine. Exhale into backwards cat, modifying as you need. Maybe your toes are tucked under, maybe not. And back into cow. Yeah. Nice. One more time backwards. Cat. Scoop, curl, draw back. Big breath. And forward into cat. Bring your knees together. Scoop your belly in and up. And remember that flattening of your low back we did before. Same thing now. Option to put one hand there and check for that little bit of lumbar decrease curve there. And then kick your left toes back. Option to tuck your toes under and reach your heel back for a cat stretch. That's it. Then lift your left leg up, hip height-ish, and swing it to the right. Squeeze your inner thighs. Bend a little bit, elbows turn right. Look around your right shoulder. Do you see your outer right hip? Don't worry if you don't, but bend, bend, bend. Contract your right side waist. Inhale here. Exhale, lift your left leg up and bend your knee. Come all the way around. Maybe tap, bend to the left, tap your left knee to your left tricep, and sweep your left leg back around. Squeeze your inner thighs, bend right, lengthening those lower lumbar muscles, quadratus lumborum on the left. A little bit of latissimus situation going on here. Inhale. Exhale, lift and reach. Left knee to left tricep. This is a side body bend to the left. Crunch your left external obliques. And last time, sweep around. Over you bend, look right. Last time, knee to elbows, tap. And back down. Backwards cat, forwards into cow. If you think, I cannot do this again, I don't want to do backwards cat, forward into cow, any resting pose, child's pose, even slip onto your back, take a break. All right, and then meet me in hands and knees or forearms and knees. All right, I'll be on my forearms just to be in solidarity with those who need to be doing that, because otherwise it's a bit lonely at times to be in situation. Now bring your knees together and check to see that the distance between your hands or elbows is sufficient between your hands or elbows and your knees so you have a nice long spine. Then see if you can lift your right knee up and bring it towards your right armpit without catting your back. Maybe you tap your right tricep, maybe not. And then kick your right leg long. If you're lucky enough to touch the wall, kick the wall with your sole of your foot. Then right knee to right armpit, tricep, and extend. Exhale as you bring your right knee up, 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 and in, and extend. Inhale. Last time, yes. Knee to armpit, long spine, gaze down your nose. Last extension, long right leg. Knees together. Now just simply drop your hips left to right. This is a rather subtle stretch. For some, you might not feel much at all. Don't worry if you don't. It's kind of like a yoga commercial, slightly vapid, side to side. There you go. For some, this is a weirdly pleasant piriformis stretch. For others, not so much. Come on back. And now, left leg kicks long, reach, even hyperextend your knee. Woohoo! And left knee to left armpit. Maybe tap your tricep. We're back at that. What? Kick your left leg long. Keep your spine neutral. Try not to cat your back. I'm much more interested in your neutral spine than how close your left knee gets to your left armpit. Two more times. Left knee to left something. That's it. Good. I love the wall push. If you get to push the wall, it's really fun. Closed kinetic chain. Doesn't get much better than that. Inhale, get long. And back you go. This time, once you're done, cross your right ankle over your left, then swish your hip side to side. A very subtle change compared to the not crossed ankle version. Come on back to the center, cross your left ankle over your right, and swish your hips. All right. Very good. And now slowly come on out. Let's come on out and up. Where I'd like to go is super slowly into a wide-legged forward fold, where we'll build your blocks into this tall, purposefully wobbly, not very supportive structure, so that when you step your feet comfortably wide, facing the long edge of your mat, and of course you can face in towards the computer if you're on the Mass Ave side, and in towards the computer if you're on the partition side, and any which way you wish if you're in either of those categories. The idea here is that your all 10 toes are pointing straight forward. Your knees are a little bit bent if you can, but if that does not feel good, knees are straight, no problem. Yeah, for many people, bending your knees a little bit helps you free your hips. But if you have knee discomfort, it can be much better to straighten your knees. Bring your weight back into your heels, spread your toes forward, and shift your buttocks slightly behind your heels to counterbalance the weight of your upper body. And then lower your chest any amount, long neutral neck. And slowly lift back up to the full length of your arms. And bend your elbows to lower, like those drinking bird things. Up you come. One more time, bend your elbows, spine is long. If this is still very easy for you, you can deconstruct your blocks, reach both blocks forward underneath your shoulders, and even come into a wide-legged version of hybrid downward dog meets Prasarita Padottanasana. For some, it's actually okay, but you still want your blocks tall. You can wiggle your blocks further forward, even still bend your elbows, or allow your arms a little more straightness, but 90% plus of your weight is in your legs and feet. So no matter what you do choose to do with your arms, the weight in your hands and arms is minimal, minimal, minimal. Big breath in, long spine, a little bit of a chin tuck and slowly rotate your chin from left to right. Maybe your right eye looks over your right upper arm when you look right. Your left eye looks over your left arm when you look left, like the whales in Baja when you go out in a boat and the whale comes and looks at you and this big eyeball. I've only heard about it, but it sounds amazing. Lengthen through your knees, maybe even lift your buttock bones a little higher. You can always pull your weight backwards a little bit to take pressure out of your neck and shoulders. That's a really primary goal here is that you're lengthening your trunk without forcing your shoulder joints or feeling like you're just building tension in your neck. If you find that hanging forward and taking full Prasarita Padottanasana, maybe even putting your hands into the crooks of your elbows, feels like a reasonable strategy, please feel free. But if you're working with flat back, you might instead go into a twist. So if you'd like to place your blocks flat under your sternum and keep your spine lifted and long for a long, flat, neutral spine, you might put your left hand down on your blocks, pull your right elbow up to the sky, and twist to the right. Big breath in as you reach up. Then your right arm comes down. You do the same thing on the left, but nice and slowly, as if through molasses. And one more time, left and right. If you're not doing the hanging and you're okay with the twisting, we'll go once more to the right, long spine. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, left elbow, pull the arrow up and breathe. Exhale down. Finally, back to flat back. Bend your knees, one hand on each thigh. Push your buttocks back and down. Lift your chest. And now scoop your belly in and tuck your tailbone forward. You can even put one hand on your low back. Flatten out your low back. Lift your chest and slowly come on up to stand. Squeeze your buttock muscles to lengthen through the fronts of your hips and bring your arms out any amount to the sides. Now, palms face up. Reach through all 10 fingers. Look right. Draw your left shoulder blade down your back as you look right, and bring your right arm any amount behind you. That's it. Then keep that. Turn your chin any amount left. Rotate your palms to the sky if that feels okay. Maybe your palms are facing more forward and back. That's okay. Now bring your left thumb behind you. See whether your right arm can stay. If it needs to shift a little forward, that's fine. Now, once your arms are as wide as they can be, rotate your chest to the left. Tuck your chin slightly, look out of the corner of your eyes. Left eye to the left corner of your eye, right eye to your nose. Slowly twist right, arms behind you as you rotate your rib cage all the way right. Look right, slightly tuck your chin, draw your shoulder blades down your back, even squeeze your left glute to twist a little more to the right. Beautiful. Inhale, exhale back to the center. Bring your arms further behind you to squeeze your rhomboids once more. Big breath in. And release your arms down. Now from here, I toe heel my feet in a little bit, lean on my left thigh with my left elbow, and allow my right arm to softly fall. Maybe drop my head down. You could do that, but for some, it feels better not to. Yeah, especially if you're dealing with something like sciatica, for example. Dropping your head can be the death knell, the oh no situation for sciatica. So you might not do that. But if you have something more like stenosis, dropping your head can be just fabulous. So take a moment to swing your right arm, then slow it down. Let it be tiny, tiny micro swinging. And then slowly shift your weight to your right, right elbow on your right thigh, left arm gets to hang. Where does your head need to be? Neutral long neck or head hanging down? You can even really cat your low back here and really curve your back or keep it nice and long and neutral. Slow it down. Slowly come back to the center, bend both knees, hands on your thighs, and slowly come on up to stand. Bring your block with you and your strap. Okay, so we did this lying down. Now we get to do it standing. I'm sure you're thrilled about this. The option is to, well, first thing what I recommend is put your strap on the floor and put your feet into it, or hold on to the wall. Find your way into your strap loop without endangering your balance and security. And the idea then is to, okay, how are we going to do this? Widen that strap and put that block back in there. So the block is going back in between your knees, and then you're tightening your strap again, just like we did before when we were lying down in bridge pose, only it's a little fraught because now we're standing up. Whose idea was this? Now, just make sure that the tail end of the strap is not hindering you, that it's not underneath you or getting in your way. And we'll stand facing the clock wall or any direction you'd like to stand with your hands on your hips, and we'll look down and check your feet. What we're looking for with your feet is that there is neither a turn out to your legs, which means your heels are slightly in, toes are out like this. This is a turned out position, nor are we in a turned in position, but your heels are arranged directly behind the middle of the fronts of your toes. So if you bend your knees, we're looking for your kneecaps to go right over your toes, middle of your toes. If it doesn't feel good, your feet are either too close or too far away. You might either get rid of the block or widen your strap, right? If something isn't working, change it up. We're not supposed to be doing this. I'm not interested in you doing it in a way that makes you feel bad. Now, if your knees are comfortable bending a little bit, great. If you need to keep them straight, that's totally fine. But what I'd like to suggest now is that you push out into your strap. Now, as you push out into your strap, your block is sort of suspended there. Push out into your strap, bring one hand to your front of your belly button, one hand behind your low back, and flatten out your low back as if you're against a wall. Now, notice how that brings your chest forward quite naturally. Keep the flat of your low back, but lift your chest, not your chin. Then draw your shoulders away from your ears. Sink a little deeper into your feet and then bump your hips way back. Look down and see if your knees can go far behind your feet so you can see lots of the top of your foot, maybe even all of it. Bend your knees a little more. Now, scoop your belly in, cat your low back. Keep that. Lift your chest. That's it. Pull back, sink down. Push out into your strap. Scoop your belly back, cat your low back. Now lift your chest even more. Long lifted spine. Cat your low back. Sink back and down. Push out into your strap. Very good. Now, optionally, you can bring your arms behind you, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your elbows, reach for your fingers, gaze down your nose. Push out, out, out. Then bring your arms forward and up in a big Y shape, V shape. Big breath in. You can even raise your eyebrows here. Pull your hips back, and back you go. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Cat your low back. Lift your chest. That's it. Inhale, arms forward. Push out, out, out. Exhale, back behind. Scoop your belly, cat your back, lift your chest. Then inhale, straighten slowly. Reach your arms into either by your ears or wide for shoulder comfort. Gaze down your nose. And then spread your toes and slowly lift your heels any amount, squeezing your block. Squeeze your block. Big breath. Lower your heels. Ah. Push your strap, swing your arms behind you, cat your back, and bump your hips back and down. Push out into your strap. Inhale, arms forward and up. V, squeeze your block, lift your heels, any amount. Big breath in. Exhale, heels down. Ah, arms down. Nicely done. All right. Take away your block. Now we just need our loop, so we'll step out of it and we'll take your loop and put it over the top of your right shoulder. So we have our loop here and it's fully internal to your shoulder joint. So your loop is really on these muscles here, right? The muscles that connect your shoulder to your occipital ridge here, not on your shoulder bone out here, but tucked in closer. Now, if you can hold with your right arm and gently pull down on that shoulder, those shoulder bones, you might even wrap your palm with that strap if it's uncomfortable on your hand to pull down. You can also make your loop bigger and simply pull the loop down. Yeah. So if holding the long strap doesn't feel good, just you can even put your fist in. For some of us with wrist issues and finger issues, it's actually weirdly helpful not to have to use your hand there. Not weirdly helpful, just plain old helpful. All right. Now, bring your feet in legs hips distance, comfortable hips distance, either straight knees or micro bend. Squeeze your glutes, lift your navel in and up. And as you pull down on your strap with your right arm, gently fold your left ear to your left shoulder. Big breath in. Slowly turn your chin any amount to the left, sampling those other muscle fibers. Your version. Yeah. So don't feel like you have to go super far or don't feel like you have to restrain. You can go as far as you like. Maybe even rotate your chin up towards the ceiling. If you do choose to look up, maybe look through the outer corners of your eyes to the right. Then slowly, as you bring your chin back down, look through the left corners of your eyes. Sampling, looking straight ahead. Breathing. Take a big breath in your long left ear to shoulder situation. Then relax everything. Let go of the loop. Slowly, gently bend your elbows in front of you to bring your palms to your skull. With your shoulders relaxed, use your hands to bring your head back over your shoulders. Then roll your shoulders forward, up and back and down. Sometimes I'll feel this all the way down into my side rib area. It can be a lot. So we want to rebalance back through the middle here. Take a deep breath, maybe shake out some of that intensity. Yeah. And then the strap goes over your left shoulder. And again, you get to choose how you do this. Maybe you push your forearm down into the strap loop because that's the best way for you to create that downward action. I actually like usually to wrap the strap and pull down with my left hand on the strap. Check your feet. Notice if you need a knee bend position or a straight knee position. Squeeze your glutes, draw your navel in and up and grow really tall through the crown of your head. Then cascade your right ear to your right shoulder. Isn't this a nice stretch? Breathing. Gently pulling straight down on your strap towards your left outer ankle bone. If you wish to gently turn your chin to the right and down, please feel free. You can even look down out of the corners of your eyes. Right eye all the way to the outer corner, left eye all the way to your nose. Breathing. And if you do choose to rotate your chin any amount forward or back up to the ceiling, again, you can use your eyes looking through your outer left eye, inner right eye towards your nose. Back to your favorite position. Maybe you just close your eyes and let your right ear melt towards your shoulder, pulling down on your strap. Big breath in. Relax. Free your arms. Then bend your elbows, bring your hands in front of you, and bring your temples, palms to temples, bring your head back up to vertical. Woo! And then gently roll your shoulders. Yeah, really good. Okay. Now, I'd like to do another thing which we've done before, which is, but this time instead of having a straight strap, make a loop bigger, nice big loop in your strap. It doesn't have to be humongous, but something kind of big. The idea is that the strap loop goes at your occipital ridge. That's the place where the bones at the back of your skull that look a bit squarish Those bones meet all these tendons, these muscles that engage, connect your neck and back to your head. There's all these tendinous attachments there. There are all these tendinous attachments and even a little bit of muscle fiber. Now, shoes. This is an interesting choice. Do you put your strap under your earlobes, or do you have the strap go right over the opening of your ear? For me, it's under. Yours might be over. Now, either pulling on your loop forwards and upwards with bent elbows, a little bit of a knee bend, or at least squeeze your navel in and up and squeeze your glutes. And now for some, it's actually kind of nice. I shouldn't have made the strap so big because for some, it's actually helpful with a smaller loop to pull the straight strap, or just bring your loop towards you, or bring both edges of the loop together and pull up uh, one loop pull, right? Single action, or both sides of the loop. Notice if your head can heavy into your strap, your temples might be getting squeezed. Relax your jaw, soften your brain. Sort of like your head got squashed in an elevator door. Pull your pull the base of your skull upwards and forwards, lengthening through the back of your skull. Finally, if you don't like the squeeze, separate your hands. Some people even like to let your upper back slightly tilt backwards and let your head fall a little bit backwards as you pull your elbows forward to create a little more space in your shoulder joint. Inhale and slowly come back towards vertical. Ah, all right, very good. Now, let's put the block back. If you're not a super happy block person, let it go. Don't need it. If you're okay with the block, that would be great. I'd like to come back to where we were. Don't worry, no more chair poses here. Let's start by just rolling your shoulders. Okay. Take your left arm out to the left. I'll mirror you here, right arm out to the right. I think mirroring is silly in this context, so I'm going to stop mirroring you now. Now, stand up tall, squeeze your block. If your knees are straight, that's fine. Try not to hyperextend, but your knees can be straight. If you're okay with a micro bend, that just allows everything to be a little bit more mobile, okay? Now, rotate your right shoulder all the way forward, spinning your right palm down and to the wall behind you, and maybe even all the way back up to the ceiling above you. Then your left palm rotates a little bit behind you. And then go the other way, rotate. Yes. Now look left as your right arm rotates forward. Look right as your left arm rotates forward, but try to keep your arms more in a T shape. So reaching wide and long. And remember that thing called breathing. That's it. How far forward can your shoulder head rotate and how far backward? Couple more. It's a very muscly kind of action. Stretch through your fingers. Yeah, really spread your fingers too, all the way to the edges of your fingernails. And come on back to the center. Arms reach high. Rotate your pinkies towards each other. Make space in your shoulder. Big breath in. And exhale, come all the way down. Now take your right hand to the space above your left ear. Wait, I do this because nobody can see my head, which is really problematic. All right. Right fingertips above your left ear. Again, option for straight knees if you need it. Otherwise, bend your knees a little bit and then glue your belly button up and back and slightly flatten out your lumbar spine. Now, with your right fingertips above your left ear, create a gentle pressure against the left side of your skull and slowly tilt your right ear to your right shoulder. But keep that gentle pressure so your fingertips are lightly pulling your head down. Your head is pushing up into your fingertips. Breathe into the stretch in your left side of your neck. If it's too much, back off on how much pressure you're exerting, both with your hand and your head. Slowly float your left arm any amount outwards and upwards. If you discover that's just not great, you might turn your left palm up, or you might say, no, I'm not lifting my left arm. Inhale here. Exhale, relax the pressure. Float your left arm down and drop your head under gravity's pull with the weight of your right arm helping you. Let your head melt to the right. Big inhale here. Exhale, release just your hands. Bring your palms to the sides of your skull and slowly bring your head back to vertical. Woo. Now here's where I massage my neck. I don't like to just try to let my refractory situation happen in my neck. I like a little manual squeeze release. Yeah? How did that feel? Big stretch? Kind of floaty when you come up? The main thing is after you've massaged your neck, you feel okay. Because if we go a little too far afterwards, just a little too much, that's your cue, back off. You don't need to do a lot to do a lot. Your head might not tilt very far. You may be getting a big stretch. So no forcing. And smaller is almost often better. Yeah. So left fingertips to the above your right ear. Stand up really tall. Try to let your shoulders drop first. Then as you scoop your belly in and back, there's this feeling of verticality, of uplift, like a blade of grass, verdant, right arm down. Pull gently on your skull with your fingertips, but now push with your skull into your fingertips. So it's a mutual pressure. As you slowly tilt your left ear down, you're lengthening the muscles on the right side of your neck, but under tension. So you don't need to do a lot to do a lot, as our friend Karen Steffen would say. Lengthening through the right side of your neck, breathing, holding. So you're well shy of your maximum here, well shy. Big breath in. Now let's reach your right arm out. Almost forgot. Well shy of maximum, gentle pressure. Maybe you turn your right palm up. Maybe you keep your right palm down. Whoa. Even open and close your right fist. Big breath in. Exhale, melt. Right arm floats down, left ear softens down. Breathing. Big inhale. Exhale, release your arms, hands, palms to temples, right your skull. And then once more, massage your neck. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Now, one more thing. Place your right palm behind the back of your head. And adjust your elbow so your shoulder is quite comfortable, right? So your elbow might be a little more tilted forward and a little open, but we don't want stress in your right shoulder. Now, push your palm into your skull, but push back into your palm with your skull and slightly tuck your chin. Lift your sternum, your breastbone, and slide your shoulder blades gently down your back, pushing lightly, palm into skull, skull into palm, lengthening through the back of your neck. Big inhale here. Exhale, release. Then your left hand goes to the left temple, your left temple. Push your palm into your temple, push your temple into your palm so your head doesn't actually change position. Move your left elbow to where it needs to be. Push your head to the right, but don't let it go right. Now back off a little bit. If you've just gone from 0 to 70,000 miles per hour, back off. Doesn't need to be a big pressure. Notice how your left shoulder blade wants to hike up towards your ear. One more big breath in here. Exhale, release. Right palm to right temple. Push lightly to your left. Your head is getting pushed to your left, so push your head to the right. Notice your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Ungrip your teeth. Often eyes closed or softening them is helpful. Soften your right shoulder blade down your back. Let it be your hand that's doing the work, a little bit more than your upper arm and shoulder. One more breath in here and release your right arm. Last one, I promise. Left palm or right, whichever one you prefer, on your forehead. For me, I'm going to go right. Drop your shoulders. And now a little chin tuck is fine here. Push your palm against your forehead, push your forehead against your palm, and feel the back of your neck getting longer and taller. Gentle pressure. You might feel it in the front of your throat. It's okay. That's normal. Breathing. Relax your shoulders. Even squeeze your block a little more. If you're looking for a place to store tension, store it in your block squeeze. Inhale, grow taller. And exhale, release. And roll your shoulders. Last but not least, tense your fingertips around your skull. So you take your fingers, you make claws, and then you grip your head. I tend to go for temples and a little more front of my skull, but you could go anywhere on your skull that gives you a feeling of grip. And then relax your shoulders and then gently bobble your head. So use your fingers to gently rotate, tilt, tuck. Let your hands move your skull around in both directions. Think of those baseball bobblehead things. Bobble your baseball head. You might hear some popping, snapping, crackling kind of sounds. Totally normal. And then find stillness and release your arms and just bobble your head free. Bobble, bobble, bobble. Pretend you're in India and you're trying to learn how to do that wonderful head movement that you often see people doing where there's more of a tilt of your head to one side, the other side. It's just, I love that so much. I'm very bad at it. And out you come. All right, really good. Next. Voila. Okay. One block between your palms, up here towards your chest with your elbows tucked in and down. I'm going to go ahead and put my mat this way so I don't have to be changing right to left all the time. We'll be doing warrior one with your right foot forward, your left leg back. The block squeezed between your palms and your elbows hugging down towards your rib cage. So your right foot steps forward of your right hip. And as you take weight into your right foot, especially your heel, we step your left foot back to a comfortable width. You might go for a wider stance, meaning you might sidle your right foot to the right and bring your left foot a little further left. Look back at your left foot and see what degree of external rotation your body naturally stepped into. Then keep that, bend your right knee and lift and lower your left heel a few times. And allow your left heel to lower itself to where it wants to go. So you're not forcing it. Then lower your left heel, press into your right heel, pull your elbows in and lift your chest. Square your shoulders and hips to the front of the mat. Don't worry about your hips. Square your shoulders and chest to the front of the mat. And now try to pull your sticky mat backwards with your left foot. Make your mat longer. Then slowly bring your elbows forward and up, looking down your nose. Elbows might go really high, might not go very high. And then elbows back and squeeze your ribs, block to your midsection. And then elbows forward, squeeze your block. Inhaling. Exhaling, block to solar plexus, elbows behind you. One more time, inhale, elbows forward and up. You might stay here, or you might extend your elbows, maybe reaching your block high. You can always bring the block further forward. It doesn't need to be right over your shoulders. You can also pull your block as if you're going to stretch it instead of pushing it, which can make more space for your shoulders as you bend your right knee. Then open up your arms wide and either grab both sides of your block behind you or drop your block, interlace your hands, or simply reach your arms behind you like we did in chair pose. Lengthening your torso forward. Open your chest. We're not going into humble warrior here, just leaning forward. Press your right heel down. Hug your navel in and up. Pull back with your left foot. Big inhale. Exhale, slowly straighten up through your tired right leg. Nice. Release your arms, shake out. Then hands on hips, turn your right toes to the left and heel toe. All right. Shake out. Great. Second side. Option for the block, if you were like, I hated that whole block thing, don't need it. You can always just put your palms together or have an imaginary block. Left leg forward, right leg back. Block between your palms if you take it. Widen out your feet for a wider base if that feels helpful to you. Hips distance also works, though Iyengar's classical version has your left heel in front of your right instep. For me, that's too wobbly. My hips are too wide for that. It doesn't feel good. But any widths that you choose, except having your right leg crossed over your left. That's not what we want. Now, press your elbows into your ribs, tuck your chin, lift your chest, sink into your left heel, and then slowly lift and lower your right heel any amount. Don't worry if it doesn't go very high. Remember that thing called breathing. Plant your right heel, pull back with your right leg, feel your right glute fire up and press into your left heel square, your shoulders to the front of the mat, and then swing your elbows forward. Maybe try to squeeze your block. If it were a marshmallow, you would squish it and then back. Block to solar plexus, elbows behind you. Press your block, engaging your pectoral muscles, your chest muscles, and elbows back. One more time, inhale forward. Option to stay here or kick your arms long. Maybe pull your block right to left. Big long body. Exhale, take your block into your other hand and either hold the block behind you, interlace, drop your block, or just pretend you have a block and lean forward. Can always just bend your elbows and reach back, just like we did in chair pose. Slot your left hip behind your left knee. Yes, nice adjustments. Lift your chest like camel pose, but lean your torso forward. Yeah, nice adjustment, Michael. Very nice. Beautiful, Milton. Excellent adaptation. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, straighten out your tired left leg. Turn to the right. Rotate your left toes in and heel to. All right, shake out. Should I put on the air? I gotcha. All right, now we get to this one is so much fun. Because we get to use a block, we get to use the wall. And so what we can do for you, Anne, is simply move this guy and you can slide up to the wall. So we'll be turning towards your wall with your mat uh, pressed up against the baseboard. And you'll be fine here, Elizabeth, here. What we'll be doing is taking either a crescent lunge or a warrior. So for some, you put your heel back down in the back. It make it feasible. If you have to have your heel lifted in crescent lunge, no good. Yeah. So for those of us for whom back heel lifted, not good, I'll show you the demo. But here's the idea. Your right leg is forward. Your block is against the wall. You step your left foot back and find your crescent lunge. Again, crescent lunge is where you're in a warrior one position, but your back heel is lifted and your back toes and knees are pointing directly to the wall in front of you. So that's different, right? If that does not work for your hips, knees, ankles, plant your left heel for classic warrior one. You do not need to be in crescent lunge, but we do want either full crescent with your toes and knee pointing straight forward, heel lifted, or heel down, toes externally rotated. Both will work. Now, see if you're a distance from the wall that allows you to push your block into the wall with your right hand and lift your crown of your head. Shift your block to the center of your body. So line it up with the belly button or chest, and then put the block in your left hand. Push the block into the wall. Now, draw your right hip crease back and down. You can even hook your right thumb into your right hip crease to pull your right thigh back and down, and maybe lengthen through your left knee a little bit. But if you need a more knee bend in your left knee, please feel free to take it. Then spiral, flamenco your right arm up to the sky as you squeeze your left glute and sink into your right heel. Then slowly with a bent elbow, open up to the right. Pull your elbow behind you, turn your chest to the right. Maybe stretch out your right arm, palm facing the sky. Bend your left knee a little more to lift your chest a little higher. Then you can re-straighten your left knee if you wish as you twist right. Push the wall with your left hand. Now turn your gaze left and see if you can lift your spine even more vertically to the sky. Then twist and look right. Nicely done. Looking to the wall helps you check to see if you're leaning to the left. Well, instead, we want to lift straight up and then look right, twist. Nicely done. One more breath, sink into your right heel, reach. Exhale, come on back to the center, grab your block and step towards the wall. Woo. Take a shake. Yeah, that's a lot, right? So if you're feeling like, no, that was too much, you come out sooner. You don't need to do all the things for the same length of time as your neighbor. You come out when you need to. Shake, shake, shake. Okay. Isn't this fun? Second side. Blocking the wall is good. Great. Left foot forward, right foot back. My left foot is about maybe, I'd say maybe 9 inches from the wall, something like that. But you can choose the distance from the wall that works for you. With your right toes pointing forward, your right heel lifted for crescent lunge, or your right heel down, toes externally rotated for warrior one. Now, let's already start with your right hand on the block, your block in the middle of your body. So your block is roughly in front of your sternum. If you wish to bend your left knee a little more, pull your left hip crease back with your thumb, parallel your left thigh to the long edge of your mat to your left. If you wish to straighten your right knee, you can certainly do that, but a little bit of a knee bend or even a lot of a knee bend can be very helpful. Inhale, flamenco, your left arm up to the sky. Big, tall reach. Exhale, bend your left elbow, twist to the left, and see if it works for you to straighten out your left arm, palm face up. Push the wall with your right hand and then look right and see if you're leaning right. Can you grow straight up to the ceiling, push the block, and twist left, look left? Nice. Look right again, check to see if you're leaning right. Grow tall, tailbone forward to the wall, twist left. Big reach, maybe even spread your left fingers. One more inhale. Exhale back to the wall, lean forward and step onto your tired left leg. Very good. All right, shake out. Nicely done. Woo. Okay, now let's grab our strap. Now we just need a small loop. Small cantaloupe diameter, something like that. Or those little cute watermelons, you know? What we'll do is we'll put that loop around your left foot. Now, if you ended up with a pretty short loop and you're a pretty tall person, you might find that putting that loop over your shoulder is a no-go. So anybody need a longer strap? Yeah, Milton, I think I better trade with you. That's a no-go. And Claire, you need one too. Yep, no problem. So I'm going to take these shorties and get a longer for Claire. Whoa. So what are we doing? This is nice and long. Voila, that should work for you. Good. So the strap is around your left foot. Oh, Susan, you need a long one. Let's get you a long one. Voila. This is even our lucky day. It's a pre-made loop. And you just got the golden ticket for your Ghirardelli, or what is that? The chocolate factory. You know, Willy Wonka. Thank you, Lynn. My references are failing me. Left foot in your loop, strap over your left shoulder or your right. Really doesn't matter because where we're going with it is here. Facing the front of your mat. I'll do it from the side just so you can get the angle of your back leg. Same position warrior one we were just in. Okay. Does not need to be a super wide stance. We're facing away from the wall. But if you choose, you can always turn and face the wall. If when you try this, you're like, I need a little something stable. Okay. The idea is right hand on your hip, left hand on your strap. Ground your left heel and create the width you need. Although, because we'll be balancing on your right leg, typically I don't want that much width because I don't want to have to readjust my weight from left to right. I want to already be centered. So maybe a little less space between your feet from right to left. Right hand on your hip. And then option to take your strap and hold onto it above or behind your head with your elbows bending forward so that your shoulder joints can drop into place. Your chest can be high, your neck a little bit soft, chin down. Then launch onto the tippy toes of your back foot, just your tippy toes, and press your right heel deep into the mat. Then take all the weight into your right leg. So it's like 99.999% of the weight is in your right leg, but straighten your left leg. Now kick into your strap as you pull your strap over your head forward. Keep your chest lifted as you bend your elbows. You can even rest your palms, your hands on the top of your head as you kick your left foot into your strap. Rotate your left toes and knee downward for Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Nice. You don't need to lift your left leg very high. It's okay if it doesn't lift very high. That's it, Laura. Good. Yes, rotate your left hip point down even more, Lynn. You got it. Nice. Use the pull of your strap on your foot to give you more something to push your foot into. Claire, beautiful. Straighten that left knee even more. Nice. Excellent, Elizabeth. Lift your chest even more, gazing forward. That's it, Sarah. Leaning on the wall is great. Drop your left hip, Yvonne. Yes, that's it, Mike. Drop your left hip too. Beautiful, Susan. That's it, Laura. Good. Laura Brewer, nicely done. Kick through your left knee, Carmen, a little more. Yes. And come on out, take a break. Okay, I just want to show you one thing on the other side that I like to do before lifting my foot. So first I want to just give you a chance to do it, feel it, be like, eh, or yay, or whatever you'll feel. But now watch. When I put the strap around my right foot now, and I have the strap in hand, if you have a longer strap, it's really nice for your shoulders to pull your strap forward any amount. It doesn't need to be here. We're not stressing out your shoulder joint. We're creating tension in a strap in a way that works for your shoulders. Now watch my right leg. As I take the pose, press into my left heel, standing leg, I start to tippy toe up. Kick through your leg. Now, more important than, well, very important is this right leg active. If this leg is like this, no, no. As my friend who's French said, no, no. The idea is this: kick through your heel, kick, 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 kick. Reach through your leg, reach through your leg. Your leg brings your torso forward, not your brain. Your brain says, no, 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 no. It's your right leg. Kick, 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 kick through your leg. Pull on your strap. Pull your strap and push your strap. Hands pull strap, foot pushes strap. Let's try the other side. Nice, Milton. Yes. And it's okay to have a straight standing knee, but for some of us, it's going to be way easier if you bend your standing knee a little bit. And of course, if you have knee discomfort when you do that, you straighten your standing knee. Yes, and beautiful. Nice long back leg. Really good reach. Yes, Sherry, that's the idea. Laura, W, excellent. Rotate your right hip and toes down any amount to the floor, Laura. Yeah, that's the orientation we're looking for. Lynn, gorgeous. That's the straight right leg. Nice, Michael. Yeah, that's it, Claire. A little more internal rotation of your right hip and leg. Very good. That's it. That's it, Sarah. Even more internal rotation. Yeah. That's it, Elizabeth. Pull. So left leg forward, right leg back, Elizabeth. So the strap is on your lifting leg. Yeah, there you go. So that will give you some leverage with which to push your foot into your strap. That's it, Marion. Kick back with that right leg. Nicely done. If the strap can go behind you, behind your armpit, behind your back, if it doesn't feel good on your shoulder, you don't do it. That's it, Elizabeth. Kick your strap. Pull your strap with your hands. That's the idea. Exactly. Nice, Michael. Long spine. Beautiful, Yvonne. Look at your hip alignment. That's it, Carmen. Nice straight back leg. Much better. Yeah. Very good, Laura Brewer. You got it. Long spine. Beautiful. All right. Nice, everybody. And come on out. That was a lot. Okay. Now, we get to lie down. Thank goodness. If you are a person who likes the thing that we do with the big, big, long strap, what I can suggest to you is that you make your strap nice and long so that we can take a Supta Padangusthasana variation, which is the hamstring stretch where you have your foot in a loop. And if you wish to put your head in the same loop, which sounds nuts, but is not quite as nuts as it sounds, the idea would be this: your right leg is stretched up into your loop. Your left foot is flat, your left knee is bent to give your back a balanced, even, grounded position. And then any amount, you can try lifting your skull up and balancing it in the hammock of your strap loop. The placement of your strap is typically for most people about an inch or half inch above your actual ear, not necessarily your the flappy part of your ear, but your inner ear. So the base of your skull, the fulcrum at the back of your skull, is what holds your head on the strap. Then you can stretch out your left leg long or not. It can be super helpful to put both hands on your strap loop to position the strap appropriately so that eventually your head can fall into the loop. And sometimes your hamstrings might be stretched out enough that your loop needs to be smaller. So if your head is falling all the way to the mat and you would like it to dangle, then your loop goes smaller. If you want your head grounded, that's also a nice way to do it. Even with the loop behind your head, you can anchor your loop to your foot by putting your skull inside it and resting it on the floor too. It doesn't need to float. Once you put yourself into this position, you can explore how actively you pursue the hamstring stretch, alignment, etc. Because for some, it's nice to really just relax. Allow your right leg to do what it will do, which may be to slightly externally rotate, or for your knee to bend a little bit. You can even hook your right thumb in your right hip crease and kick through your right heel to straighten your right leg, maybe even pointing and flexing your right foot. You might find that your head a little bit drifts up and down when you do that. As long as your neck and shoulders can completely relax, any of these versions are most welcome. But we're looking for heavy, relaxed, gravity mediated dropping of your head down. And you get a little hamstring stretch into the bargain. It's like your extra spatula, right? But wait, there's more. If you pay $99.99 right now, yeah, really notice your breathing. See if you can facilitate the stretching by deepening your breathing. Send the message to your nervous system that this is, though weird, not a problem. You're okay. If you don't feel okay, then you modify so that you do. This is not supposed to be stressful. Take another deep breath in and let something go. And sometimes it's hard to find the fulcrum at the back of your head. Your strap might need to go a little closer to the crown of your head sometime. It's hard sometimes, right? Yeah, not always so easy. Now, when you're ready to switch, don't let me rush you. Stay here on this right side as long as you like. For switching, I often will bend my non-working leg. I'll put my left foot flat and bend my left knee, then hold the strap either side of my head so my neck is stable and put both feet up into my strap loop before removing now my right foot and putting my right foot flat. So now your left leg is up, your right leg is down, and you can pursue the stretch on your second side in the way that serves you. Maybe your loop needs to be a little bigger on this side or maybe a little smaller. It's using, again, the active version or a more soft, easy, relaxing version. And again, notice the effect of your breathing on your stretching. Taking your time and allowing the second side to balance you out. And as you creep up on that balance, you might slowly start to find your way into your Shavasana, your deep relaxation. Really allow yourself the space and the time to settle in, settle down. Maybe you place a block under each calf or a rolled up blanket under your upper thighs, just below your buttocks, or both. Any version of deep relaxation that feels nice to you, that allows you to relax, is really what we're looking for. There's no rush. Give yourself the time you need to settle in comfortably. And once you've settled, allow your body to be breathed. You don't have to do anything. Just let your body be breathed. And now very gently begin to deepen your breathing. And as the breath moves more fully in and out of your lungs, allow your body to animate gentle movements that feel comfortable and easy. And you might gently make your way over onto one side of your body and rest there, using it as a transition, a moment of rest, shoring up. And if you wish to come to a seated position, if there is one that's actually comfortable, I invite you to do so, or stay resting on your back. If you're seated, allow your spine to gently float upward like smoke, your chest broadening and expanding as your shoulder blades wash down your back. Feel the tension in your head and neck drain downward as you take a deep inhale and let it go. One more time, deep inhale, fill up. And let it go. Ah, the light in me bows to the light in you. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. So nice to see you. Hope you all have a good week. I guess it's Wednesday, so we're halfway there. So nice to have you. And the neck work, the reason for this one where we didn't stretch anything, we were just pushing, is that we were activating the muscles on all sides of your neck, and that activation can bring good blood flow. So especially after we've done a little bit of stretching, why not bring in some good blood flow to sweep everything through? So we don't need just to stretch, but we also need to strengthen. So that's why this one can be helpful, especially if done with a measured approach. Yeah, we're not like, it's more like you don't have to do a lot to do a lot, as our friend Karen would say. Yeah. So thank you. All right. Next week I will be teaching this class by Zoom. Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. I'll be in Missoula, Montana, taking care of the babies, and I'll be teaching there all of my classes by Zoom, um, because it's next week exactly, and the following week. So I'm there for 2 weeks. So starting on Monday, this week I'm here, but next week starting on Monday, it's all Zoom for 2 weeks. So the second 2 weeks of June are all on Zoom for this class, and then I'm back. I'll be but without the baby. I would love to bring the baby back, but that's unfortunately not in the cards. And oh, you might be able to because the baby will be up um while we're in class. The baby will be he'll get up because it'll be 7:30 to 9. So yeah, they'll be up. Yeah. We might invite Webby and Ozzy to come in and say hi. That would be really fun. They would love that. Well, Webby would. Ozzy would be like, yeah. Hey, Susanna. Hey,
That was a
Vicky. Great to see you.
fantastic class. It got out all of the kinks that gardening had put in this morning. It was
Oh,
fantastic. Oh my
whoa.
God.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Diane,
Hi,
yes,
Vicky.
I would love a copy of this if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
no problem. Absolutely. I can send you both a link to be able to
Oh,
access it.
great. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be here next Wednesday on Zoom, but it would be delightful to see Webb and Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I will try. See if Dan can bring them in because that would be a hoot.
Instead of what, yoga with goats, it's yoga with babies.
Exactly.
No hoops.
Exactly. No poop, just diapers. Diapers, fine. Yeah. And Webby's pooping in the potty, so we're all good on that. So
Huge.
huge, exactly.
Give him our congratulations for the
Yes,
I
yes.
puppy.
will. I will.
See you Friday.
Okay.
Thanks, Anne.
Take care. You're
You
welcome. See
too.
you
Love
soon. I'll
you.
send you both the link. Love you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.